Hello, my name is Rosemary Bristol. This is my Reteach It project called Spanning Culture and Time, a look at gender norms. So this is the objective for the presentation. In the first section, we're going to look at different gender norms throughout history. Then we're going to learn how gender norms affect how we show emotion. Then I will share my story, being raised by a single mother and the gender roles that she had to fill. And then I will share my questions for you. This is a quote that I pulled from one of the sources that I used, and I just thought it was a good quote to keep in mind as we go through this information. So it says, the male-female binary appears as a basic, perhaps even universal, pattern in human society. At the same time, many societies contain sex and gender roles that transcend this binary opposition, making it clear that both sex and gender are culturally constructed. Gender norms throughout history. The photo included in this slide is a photo of a boot that was actually worn by John Lennon of the Beatles. This style of boot is similar to the Chelsea boot that is worn by many women in the US today. And as you can see, it did have quite a high heel on it, but it was made out of a rugged leather material, adding a masculine quality to it. So we learned in our textbook that in the 1500s, the Persian armies wore heels because it allowed them a greater advantage when fighting on a horse. European male aristocrats took after the powerful Persian men and donned the same look. To them, the high heel shoe was a symbol of power, strength, and what it meant to be a man. When women started wearing this style, however, this caused some issues with the noblemen. This look was reserved just for them, and they wouldn't be caught seeing the same fashion as a woman. In the Enlightenment period, men dropped heels altogether. So why do women tend to pick up male trends rather than men picking up on women's trends? And why today is it more appropriate for a girl to dress in boys' clothing than the opposite? According to Serena Nada, in patriarchal societies, the social status gained by alternately gendered women appears less threatening to society than the social status lost by alternatively gendered men. For example, the first woman to wear trousers was named Libby Smith, and this happened in 1851. Why aren't we writing about the first man to wear pants? What is the significance? Now we'll dive into gender norms across cultures. For this portion of the presentation, I'll be talking about a study that examined the variations of emotional display rules across cultures. This study examined Canada, US, and Japan. It considered how cultures dictate how masculine and feminine someone can be and how that affects emotional displays. According to the study, Japan is a collectivist society, shaped by Confucian and Buddhist thought. Canada and the USA, however, are shaped by Christian ideals and are individualistic societies. The USA ranked number 1 on the individualism dimension, and Canada ranked number 4. Japan ranked number 22, which was an indication that it was a collectivist society. Individualist cultures are ones where individuals are the most important social unit. These cultures may encourage outward displays of emotion and exaggerate the strength of that feeling. Collectivist cultures value groups over individuals and promote harmony and cooperation within the group rather than individual happiness. The MAS is a masculinity index, which focuses on the degree the society reinforces gender differentiation. Japan ranked number 1, the USA ranked number 15, and Canada ranked 24, which means that Japan endorses the highest masculinity norms. So I wanted to highlight 2 of the hypotheses from this study. Hypothesis 3A is that men will report that they should express powerful emotions like anger, contempt, and disgust more than women, where women think that they should express powerless emotions like fear and sadness more than men. So men think that they need to exhibit powerful emotions, and women think that they need to exhibit powerless emotions. Hypothesis 3B is that larger differences on the MAS are expected among Japanese participants than among American or Canadian participants. So the research did support hypothesis 3A, that men believe that they should express powerful emotions more than powerless emotions. According to the study, these results may reflect existing gender stereotypes. Hypothesis B, however, was rejected. Greater gender differences was not found in Japan than in the US and Canada. Actually, the largest gender effect was found in Canada, and the smallest difference occurred between Japanese men and women in the expression of emotion. So this was thought to be due to the fact that the norms of politeness in Japan discourage emotional displays in general. So this is my story of how gender norms impacted my life. I was raised by a single mom. It was just me and my 3 sisters. None of us knew our dad, so it truly was a girls' household. I grew up more as a tomboy than a girly girl. We spent a lot of time playing outside and getting dirty. And my mom not only had to fill the feminized roles of being a mother and all that came with it, like being a caretaker, a cleaner, a cook, and a nurturer, but she also had to fill masculine roles. She was the one and only breadwinner, and she had to work a lot to support us. So this is a photo of me outside with my grandpa and then out doing some yard work. So my mom had to do all the manual labor around the house. My mom did have a passion for cars and was a mechanic for a while. This is a picture of her Lincoln that she spent a lot of time working on. Because she was so busy filling both of the roles and working to support the family, she didn't have time to do the typical things we might think the stereotypical mother would do. For example, she wasn't able to get involved in my school or join in on field trips. So the picture on the left is of the car that she was always working on and building, and then on the right it was actually a photo I found from a field trip. So these are all my friends' moms, all the moms that were able to make it on the field trip. And through this project, I was really able to think about that and think about how my mom couldn't fill those roles and expectations because she was filling other roles and expectations. So just kind of interesting to think about. And then these are my questions for you. So I would like you to share gender norms from your culture, how they affect your home life, the sense of responsibility you feel to your family, the jobs you have taken, and how you develop romantic relationships. And in your opinion, how important are gender norms? What role do they play? Are they helpful? Are they hurtful? And do we need them? Thank you guys so much for watching, and good job throughout this course. It's been a pleasure watching everybody's work, so congrats.